The Formal Gamer, podcast for those with exquisite taste.
We return to Seathwaite, where the city glitters but hides a dark and dangerous underbelly. Two brothers, Locke and Key, are tasked with an assassination that will rock the city to its core. But are these wretched villains up to the task? Seathwaite is cutthroat, cruel, and unforgiving. Can Locke and Key keep their heads when all hell breaks loose? And who is the mysterious figure known as the Weasel? And will he be friend or foe?
Hi guys, welcome to episode 9 of season 9 of the Formal Gamer podcast. As always, you can find us on Facebook or Twitter or our website. But more important than any of that is that you enjoy the episode.
Hello everyone, and welcome again to another episode of the Formal Gamer.
Yeah!
Podcast!
Our party size has increased by 50%. Whoa!
Wow.
You know,
100%.
100%. depending If you count weasels or not.
Wow.
What's happening over there in that corner?
No, I was just contributing.
Oh, okay.
Background.
Where are you? Debatable.
So, you look like you're a bit more on track now.
Well, debatable.
Lance the Goblin, who...
Never been off track, mate.
Well, there you go.
Always on
Consummate
track.
Professional.
Always target in the eye.
Tell us who Lance is in a brief summary.
Very weird.
I beg your pardon, mate.
To explain to listeners again who Lance is as a brief summary.
Lance is a goblin. He's a druid. He has skills with animals. He does animals. He has a wife. A lovely, lovely wife
Yes.
in his pocket.
Yes.
She is a weasel.
Good.
And he can be a weasel whenever he so chooses, which, when he wants to spend some quality time with his wife, is all the time.
And Key, what do you think of Lance?
Well, as far as Key has worked out, he was a weasel until 10 a.m. this morning. Then he became a goblin, which is when Marlowe hired him. Key is pretty sure that he's some sort of animal expert. He has an awkward relationship because he was very friendly to Lance, but then Lance insulted his mother in a way he didn't quite understand, so he had to punch him. And he's been told not to punch him, but there is a chance later on that he might get a chance to punch him, so he's still eyeing up that opportunity.
Locke, how do you feel about the new edition?
Locke likes his skill set. He thinks that he can be very, very useful.
Your own skill set or mine?
Yours.
Oh, good, mate.
Yeah, Lance's skill set.
skill
So
set is lacquer,
that's really good. He's a bit worried about Key and Lance together.
No, mate, we're both
but
gangrene, eh?
And also, he reminds him a lot of Gallic, which annoys him a little bit. So a lot of
Let me stop you there, mate. What?
That was racist.
Yes. Who the fuck is this Gallic bloke, and why does that...
Wait, what? Are we talking?
I am, yes. Why not?
To be fair, he's not in character.
I know.
So, yeah, that's kind of how Locke's feeling.
Why does he remind Locke of Gallic?
Because they're goblins.
Yeah, because they're goblins.
Racist.
He is a little bit.
Well, there we go.
I'm
Body
a,
code from a half-elf.
I will agree with that. I'm a little bit goblin, a little bit weasel.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm excited because this is like Galak, and the Galak's like one of my best friends.
Gallic is actually quite like a weasel in many ways.
Galak's the most weasel-like goblin he's ever met, and this is the most goblin-like weasel he's ever met.
Wonderful. So,
and also he doesn't know, again, the kind of line of work they do and stuff. He always has to be careful. So he's not sure kind of how much to trust Lance or what his objectives and motivations are, etc. So he's very wary. He only really trusts his brother.
okay.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah,
Key.
so I put my hand up, which is a weird thing to do. We've never done that on the podcast before.
No, it's very polite. Mate. I
I
like it.
forgot to pick up my weapons.
It's true. You can
I
go
got too
back
excited by my
You
bombs.
could go back in and
Okay, so I put the bombs under my arms like a rugby ball under each arm. And I charged back into where Marlowe is. I go, yeah, Marlowe.
What's that, Key?
I forgot my weapons. Did you get them? If you didn't, it's okay. I understand. You got me some really good
Have you
presents.
talked to my guard by the door, Key?
Oh! And he just turns around and runs off.
Can I have a quick conversation while he's in the room? Can I take an opportunity to have a chat to Locke?
Okay, I'll put my hands over my ears.
So Locke, I feel like we got off on the wrong foot there, and I would like to move forward with in a better place, if you see what I mean.
Lance, don't worry about it. It happens a lot. It's water under the bridge.
But I'm a little bit concerned about your brother. He's a few steaks short of a braai, eh?
Yeah, that's a pretty blunt way to put it, but yeah, pretty much. Just with Key, don't mention our mum.
Right.
That's a pretty hard and fast rule. You're pretty much okay with everything else.
I will bear that in mind and to speak to my wife about it.
Give him food. That makes him pretty happy too. He'll like you a lot. Bit like a dog, really.
Yes, I know some weasels that like food, but they well, I'll tell you what. You ever met a stoat?
No. Is it a different kind of weasel?
No, it's not a weasel, mate.
Oh.
Mate, they got black tail.
Oh,
They're all pretentious pricks as well.
Sounds like it, Lance.
Yes, but if you're talking about people that weasels,
How long was I gone for?
weasels that like food, yes, you got to look at polecats, huh? A polecat is like a fat weasel.
Oh, well,
They're also pricks,
I hear a lot of the animal kingdom are pricks, so
but particularly polecats, eh? They're
Okay.
fat pricks.
I'll note that down next time.
Yes. There's also mink. They're also like weasels.
You know what, actually, Lance? A list would be useful. Maybe we could have a debate on it after the mission.
Yeah, but mink, you know, they're basically like goth otters.
I've actually got a meeting in here in a minute. You can always talk about this when you're on your way.
It's a fair point, mate.
Okay, Lance, are you gonna come with us to do the visitations this morning?
My China, if you think it's appropriate, then I will travel with you, yes?
I heavily recommend Lance goes with you.
How are you talking as well? What's happening?
Yes, all right, Marlowe. We'll be heading out together. Come on, Key.
I'm running straight to the guy on the door because I want my weapons.
You go to the guy at the door and you see essentially the same, but quite a nice new set of all the weapons you had before. So what did you have? You had...
I had it's sort of like, it's a karu, it's technically like a Japanese weapon called a kuru gemsa or something like that. It's a chain, and on one end there's something that looks like a sickle, like a tiny sickle. Well, not a tiny sickle, but a small sickle. I'm getting confused beside there. And the other end there's like a metal ball, so I can swing round the metal ball end and bop
Kill
people with
Bill
it.
had something like that, didn't they?
I believe so, yeah.
Big fight at the end of the first
Yes,
one.
and
Yeah,
then I've
that
got
does
the
sound
hook
familiar,
end on that, but mine was a bit more sort of blunt and simple.
It sounds very dangerous.
Oh, yeah. To be fair, I'm pretty good with it. And then I've got a pair of hand axes.
Okay.
For throwing and also for hand axing. But I run. I'd go to see Marlowe, and then I'd see these two talking, and just run straight past them, bombs into my arms to go and get my weapons. Go, come on, let's go get our weapons.
Okay, so you get these weapons. They're new weapons, and you notice on the hilts there are on the pommel of the hilts is a snarling dog on the hand axes.
I show it to the guard who's giving them to me. And go, that's wicked, innit?
Yeah, it's something that we like to do for our special men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's all right.
Did you make these?
No, I didn't make them myself. No, Marlowe had them requested for you.
Oh, he's the best, isn't he?
Yeah, he treats you well. I think you're one of his favourites.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, he says that. He says you're good at stuff.
Oh, thank you.
There we go. These two show up.
I just show them my weapon, hold them out for them. But still keep my bombs strapped under my armpit.
I suspect that you would probably hear me say, there's also pine marten, eh? They're also like weasels, but they're not.
Oh,
They
pine marten?
sound like a bird, but they're not.
Yeah, pine marten like a weasel.
Yeah, no.
Like a polecat.
Yeah, like a polecat. Yes, mate. Yes, fat pricks, eh?
Fat pricks.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Locke grabs Key's arm and pulls him in the direction out of Marlowe's.
There's ferrets as well, eh?
Oh, they're big, aren't they?
Yeah, into some weird fetishes, ferrets.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that where the
Dimorphic, eh?
The guy says, is that where the name comes from then?
Ferrets?
Yeah, they named after fetish.
Oh, no, I don't know about that, mate.
Oh, okay. You seem to like you pretended to know a lot.
Well, yeah. I do.
Mr. Lance, what's the difference between a stoat and a weasel?
I've just been talking about this with your brother, eh?
Is it that stoats are one thing and weasels are totally different.
Oh no, I see what you did there, mate. I like that,
Thank
eh?
you.
Hey, I like that. But no, actually, stoats have black tails.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, yes. And they're all pretentious pricks as well.
Makes sense. Do
It's like, why dye one bit of your hair a different colour, huh?
you like these weapons I got?
Right, Locke grabs Key's arm and gives him a shove in the right direction.
Okay.
It's probably best we move off now, huh?
So you guys are moving on. You've got 2 locations.
I've also run out of little mammals to talk about.
So you've got 2 locations. You've been given the address of a coffee shop in one of the richer touristy areas.
Is that the
of
Ferris
town.
brothers?
No, that is where Zachary Wixell is told he will meet you.
Okay.
You've also got the...
He's the Birdman, eh?
Exactly. You've also got the location of... It looks like the address, which is the Ferris brothers. It's just called that. So
Oh, hang
you can,
on a minute. It's the Ferris brothers.
Ferris, yes.
Not Ferret brothers.
No. Well, you can
Oh,
ask
I'm
them.
incredibly
Who's,
disappointed. I have to tell you, man, I was rather looking forward to that. Although they're a bunch of pricks, I did want to be talking to something.
We have to wait and find out, don't you?
It'd be funny if they were the Ferris brothers, but they were Ferris.
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
A large misunderstanding on my part. I do apologise. It won't happen again.
Who's the closest? We would go to whoever's closest.
The one
Are
that's
we going to
close-
go as a 3 everywhere?
It could make it quicker if we separate.
Whichever one needs the most tact, I'll go on my own to that one, sort that situation out.
I'll tell you what, mate. If we're going, I can follow, unassuming in a
The
different
problem is, actually,
in a different form.
Lance
perhaps.
needs both. Like, actually, both are quite related to Lance knowing that. So, actually, it's probably best we go all together.
Then we'll all go together.
I can be quite unassuming though, mate. I can be in the corner, watching from a different pair of eyes, shall we say. My wife and I can be just watching from a lower level, as it were.
You're welcome to ride on my back head anywhere you want. I used to carry Galak round.
Actually, that's not a bad idea, Lance.
Well, thanks, mate. That's what I'm here for.
So the closest address would be the address to go to see Zachary Wixell.
Okay.
Because the casino's already in a slightly touristy part of town. It's more of a run-down, tacky, touristy part.
Okay.
This is kind of adjacent. It's moving along the river to a posh.
Look, let's go see Zachary Weasel, eh?
Sounds good, Lance. And also, if you've got any questions, whisper them into Key's ear so he can ask.
What?
When you're
Yeah,
weasel
when
mode.
you're-
Ah, there he's got you, mate.
No, at the moment, I think you can just ask questions.
I have to say, I was a little bit confused there, as I was like, well, why would I be whispering in your ear when we're in the middle of a busy street, eh?
So
Do you know, it would be cool if we had some sort of spell that we could whisper to each other in secret with. That would make the mission so much easier.
I can't help you with that, mate, but I can send... My wife and I can perhaps run messages between the two of us, or the three of us.
Oh, well, that's almost exactly what I was suggesting would be a really nice power that we had.
It's not quite instantaneous, though, obviously.
Oh, right.
What's the delay, Lance?
Well, however long it takes a weasel to get there, I suspect.
Yeah, my man here has it down, yeah?
So he tells his wife, he puts his wife on the floor, and she runs over to where I am, and comes up and goes, all right, and tells me what's going on.
Oh, right.
Does your wife speak then?
Aye, gosh, she speaks, eh?
Oh, wow. Okay.
How do you think it... technically...
To be fair, we never really got introduced to her properly. She never said anything.
I thought she was just genuinely a weasel.
I mean, it could be a more healthy relationship if she didn't, but I mean...
Can she hear this? She's going to be furious with you.
Oh, no, it's only when we're speaking weasel, mate.
Oh, right. But she can
But we don't speak weasel, how
she
would
can
we
speak common
understand?
To me.
Oh, no, I'd write it down on the piece of paper, eh?
Oh, right.
No,
Okay,
she can't speak common. She hasn't got opposable thumbs or even the capacity for a voice box to do that.
Oh, right. Well, that is the question we were potentially asking.
Ah, well, it's good to iron these things out.
Okay, lads, let's
Okay,
go
so
then.
she'll bring us written notes if we need them a point. Wonderful.
So, yeah, we're all heading over to Zachary
okay, Wixell.
Wixell.
So you make the scenic route along the river, seeing the sights and sounds of Seathwaite, place you're rather familiar with, and then you get to a large coffee shop which is looking over the river. There are seats outside, and you're told that Zachary Wixell is at that location.
Okay. Would we have any idea? Would we have known him? No, I assume not. Okay. Did we get any extra information from Marlowe about how we would get in touch
He
with
just
him?
told you that Zachary's at that location.
Okay.
Lance, did Marlowe tell you anything about how we're going to get in touch with this guy here?
No, mate, I've been in the same conversations as you have, eh?
No, great. Okay,
I suggest perhaps you go in and just ask for him. There's nothing untoward about what we're doing yet.
Sure.
Yet.
You guys wait out here while I go see.
So I'll go.
Well, hang on a minute. Let's go around the corner, eh? And I'll whip something up.
Okay.
You can make a cake.
I mean, Key's quite hungry now, I think.
I go around the corner and I change into animal form.
Okay.
What happens to Mrs. Weasel when you turn into Mr.
We both
Weasel?
sort of. There's
Suddenly
like,
two weasels are there.
There's suddenly two weasels on the floor. Yeah.
So your clothes just magically disappear as well? What's it actually look like?
Uh,
Ping into
Good
the air.
question.
What? Stepping back from character, I think think that you can decide to either. I think the guide says you can have everything miniaturized, so you could keep all your stuff.
Because that doesn't look weird.
No, I know.
Tiny dressed weasel.
Or you could just be weasel. I'd prefer to go to the normal weasel thing. You don't have access to any of your like weapons or anything, but I
if
think
you move
it's
somewhere else and then re-goblinize, you have all your stuff with you.
yeah.
So. Okay, so you've weaseled.
There's two weasels on the floor, mate, and one of them's waving at you.
I put my hand down so you can go on my hand and come up.
Yeah, two weasels both holding hands step onto your arm, eh?
And I lift them up and put you onto. Well, you're going in with him, aren't you? Because I'm going to stay outside,
Yes.
just in case something needs to happen.
But I'm going with my wife and your. Where are we going? On your backpack or your shoulder?
You can still speak as a weasel.
I can speak to you, yeah. My
Okay.
wife can't though.
All right.
Because I won't let her. Like, it's not that sort of relationship.
Do you want to leave your wife with Key, or she can go in the bag while you sit on my shoulder?
Do I want to leave my wife with some bloke?
Right.
No.
Sit-
No, I don't, mate.
Maybe convince your wife to go in my bag and you sit on my shoulder so you can whisper questions if you have them.
How about we both sit on your shoulder, eh? I'm not putting my wife in your bag. You're
Okay,
locked up.
I'll walk in with two weasels on my shoulders.
I'm not sure two is weirder than one, actually. I think any number of weasels up to 5 is weird. Any more than 5 is insane. If you have more than 5 weasels on your shoulder, like, you're insane.
How about your Are you wearing are you wearing coat pockets? What you like? What have you got? I don't know what you're wearing.
I will have so I'll have a jacket full of pockets.
Like, have you got
I've-
like a top pocket and a bottom pocket, side pockets? What you got?
all over the place pockets, inside and out.
You're all pockets.
So I
Hidden
have
little
pockets at the
weapons
top,
on
pockets at the bottom. It's
Okay, how about I go on the upper one so I can be nearer to your rear, and my wife may be underneath me. No, not in a sexual sense.
Sorry, Lance, we've only just met. You're not having sex in my pocket.
Let me
I don't care if it's your honeymoon.
Look, my China, let me rephrase that, eh? My wife will go in the lower pockets than I. Yeah?
If I remember, this episode is going to be called A Weasel on My Shoulder and One in My Pocket.
Now, let's get on to business and get in that shop, eh?
Okay, so yeah, I assume you guys settle into pockets. I turn to Key.
Key, stay here, out of trouble. Keep an eye on you.
Do you want me to stop anyone coming in the store? Tell them it's closed?
No, that's fine. You. Oh, look, you know what? There's a really pretty flower there. Why don't you guard it?
Done. Stand over a pretty flower.
And I go in.
Wonderful.
I go in like to the reception. I assume there's like a reception.
Yeah, so there's
for
like a
sitting.
maitre d' waitress
Sure.
person there.
And I go, hello, I'm looking for Zachary.
Zachary. Oh yes, we've got a table. Zachary. He's out the back in the garden.
Wonderful.
I'll take you through.
Thank you.
And she takes you through the coffee shop. It's got a nice smell and aroma of cakes and scones cooking away and baking, and the smell of coffees and teas. As you walk through the back, she takes you through back door into quite a nice walled garden. You lose the view of the riverside, but you have more privacy.
Shame.
It is a shame. Sitting, there's only one man sitting. He's got his back turned to the waitress. He's sitting down, drinking a coffee.
In this area, there's just one person. Okay, sure.
She motions.
What
towards the table.
species is he?
Well,
Well, duh.
back's turned, so you have to go introduce yourself.
Okay, so I'm going to walk round, and and I'm going to walk around to face him. What do I see before I say? I'm going to introduce myself, but what do I see before I introduce myself?
So you see, it looks like a human male. Looks like a man. He's got long hair. He obviously cares a lot about his appearance. His hair is fashioned into a top knot, and he's wearing a rather beautiful set of glasses.
Am I hearing this during the whole?
Yeah, top knot wanker. Eh? That's actually quite hard to say. top knot wanker. If we do have any South African listeners, I'm so sorry.
Look at the stats.
It sounds a lot like
really.
It's a nation we barely touch. If you are a South African listener, please get in contact because you're not showing up on our stats at the moment. I'm gonna have another look through, but I don't believe we've got. If we've had any downloads,
the
there,
market,
very few.
I'm quite safe then. Right,
I'll start doing advertising in South Africa.
Continue, DM.
So he's wearing a top knot. He's got brown hair, and he's wearing quite an exquisite pair of glasses. They're circular glasses. The kind of thing that you only see wizards or like really high level like office workers and this kind of, and Helen Scar would be wearing. And his glasses actually they have hinges on them, and they have a shade part which he looks at you.
I fucking love the sound of these glasses. They're round as well.
Yeah, round, and he flicks them up, and the dark shade parts flick up, and he has glasses. Normal see-through glass on the inside.
I seem to remember somebody having a pair of those and nobody else liking them.
No. So do I.
Yeah. Oh yeah, don't worry. If Key were here, those glasses would be stomped on already.
Right.
The man stands up and goes, "Hey, you looking for me?"
Zachary, is it?
Yes, it is. And the man leans in and goes, "We got ourselves an elfie. Cool."
Yes. The name's Locke, though. Shall we have a seat?
Half elf.
Well done.
Yeah.
Shall we sit down and begin a bit of a talk?
Of course. Hey, have you ordered anything? You want anything?
I just got here, but what's good?
Well, the coffee is amazing, obviously.
Well, I'll have one of those.
Okay, alright. Waitress, get this man a coffee.
And I take a seat.
So, I hear a mutual friend wanted us to meet up, Elfie.
Yes. And, we have some questions our mutual friend said you might be able to help us with.
Sure, cool.
Are you, familiar with the, eagle display by the castle?
Oh, man. The eagle there, he's crazy. Yeah, I've seen it, yeah.
And, did you see how the, wizard is controlling that eagle there?
Yeah, Vivian, she's a powerful wizard, you know. Like, I think she's got some Eldrin in her, you know? People say she's pure human. I've got a nose for that kind of thing. I can read species, you know? I can see all the way back. All of your ancestors. And I think you need someone who's powerful with magic to deal with that eagle. It's a mind control thing. I do it all the time.
So that, little statue thing she was pointing around is just for show?
No, it's not for show. It focuses the mind control. You need to make that stuff. That's what I do. I make them.
Do you think you could make one for us?
Yeah, it depends what you want. You see, to make one of these, you need the essence of the animal. You need some of its blood, some of its tissue.
Hair?
A feather for the eagle? You know, if you get something like that, you can apply it to one of these trinkets. You can use it to mind meld, you know, man. You are inside the eagle's mind, and the eagle is inside your mind. Changes you.
And, would it only need a magic user, or could anyone use that?
What's your voice doing?
Lance
that not my voice?
would pop out the pocket, and because I'm trying to work out how we can do this surreptitiously, would climb up onto his shoulder nearer to his ear at this point.
Oh, you got weasels. Normally weasels are really badly behaved. This one looks weird. What's wrong with this weasel?
I don't wash it often enough.
Can I look at it?
No, this can't touch me,
It
mate.
will
No,
bite
that's
you.
me,
It only really likes me.
Mate, you need to ask him if if we break this spell, will the eagle return to normalness?
So, if we were to break the
if
spell
to
Vivian has, what would the eagle do? Go back home, maybe?
Well, I mean, what these things tend to do is control the mind of the creature in question, you know? So, you could do two things. You either break that mental bridge, you know? Or, you could make a stronger artifact to control the eagle yourself.
And you think you could make that for us if we got some essence?
Well, I can make you something, and if you can get some essence from the eagle, one of its feathers, some blood, whatever, if you apply that onto this trinket, yeah, you could control it. Or, if you don't, I can make it so it can disrupt the mental connection for that eagle.
That's real good to hear.
Can I take a pause here?
Yes.
This chap that we're meeting, is he one? Were we told was he one of the jackals, or is he just? He is. So he's on side as
Yes.
it were. Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. How long would it take for you to make this? We need it kinda sharpish.
Oh, I'm busy all today, so I can start tomorrow, you know?
Look, my friend, ask him if the eagle, if we break this this spell, ask him if the eagle will have remember everything that has happened since it was under the spell, eh?
Quick question. Just came to me out of the blue. If we break this mind control device, will the eagle kind of remember what happened to him and go maybe a batshit crazy?
I mean, just 'cause eagles, it's not really mind control, you know? It's not always
I
dominating.
mean, this bloke literally just said he was mind control.
It's
I think he's fucking you over, mate.
it's more like a mind meld. Doesn't mean he's gonna go crazy, you know? Unless we disrupt it in a way that does make him go crazy.
Okay. And just today is the day of the event.
Yes,
Everything's
it's this
happening.
evening,
So
9 o'clock.
tomorrow is too late.
Yes.
Okay. Zachary, we're gonna need that done today. Our mutual friend has put it as a pretty big concern.
Well, I've already made promises to someone else. I tell you what, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, you know?
Be a little more specific, Zachary.
I do side work. The arena, it sometimes needs creatures, so I go out and I find creatures. Sometimes the arena, it loses creatures, and there's one today that I have to get back for this evening. If you guys help me, we capture it, get some tissue from it, make it bleed, whatever, then my day's freed up. Only takes me about 3 or 4 hours to make you one of these trinkets.
Where is this creature?
It's near Elftown in the burned out area. I've tracked it down. I know where it is, but it's just tricky to get. I call it a crackle snap pop.
He might ask him what this type of creature is, eh?
What kind of a creature is it? We're gonna need more than that, mate.
It's a crackle snap pop, you know? You hear a crackle, then it snaps and pops you. Some people call it a phase shift spider, which is more of a scientific term.
Would we know? Can I roll to
Yeah, roll
kind of see
nature.
if I figure what that is?
If only you had a druid.
Yeah, if only. Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna do it. 15.
Plus your
Plus 2, 17.
Okay. So, yeah, you would know a phase shift spider. It's a large spider.
Okay.
Like, it's a large creature.
Quite dangerous.
Yeah, quite dangerous. They can shift into other dimensions,
Oh, okay.
so they're tricky to.
Catch.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay.
sounds like a solo mission for Key.
My part of me thinks we should just. I mean, this. Oh, in fact, no, we're still in front of him, aren't we? Yeah.
Well, you could just
Yeah, you can still talk
just
to
talk
me
to him
because
and he
I'm
you're a
the
weasel.
only one hearing you, kind of thing. As
Right.
long as he doesn't try to.
Look, make look like you're still listening to what he's saying, making your consideration to it. I'll talk to you about this. I think perhaps this is an option, but it might take us quite a lot of time to do it. I mean, it might just be easier if we get the opportunity to break this thing, and then I'll have a chat to the eagle and say, look, this guy's been fucking you over for the last few months. I mean, and then the eagle might be like, oh, I want to get some payback and kill this lagger, eh?
So,
rather than us spend time with this fucking waster going after some face shift spider fuck.
So Locke was kind of stroking his beard a little bit while he's listening to that, to make it look like he's considering. Can I roll insight and see whether I think this guy maybe I could intimidate him a bit, like scare him with repercussions from Marlowe, if he doesn't kind of take this as a priority.
Yeah.
Was there one already? Oh, perfect. 17
Plus.
320. And I'm going to kind of repeat what I already said.
Zachary, I'm meeting Marlowe in a couple of hours. He's not going to be best pleased if I come telling him you can't help because you have other things going on. You sure you don't want to change your mind?
While he's saying this, Lance will scrabble down to his wife. And
Locke.
and I will ask Mistella to scurry out his pocket and climb up onto our friend Zachary.
Okay.
How's the flower?
Flower's fine. It is great. It might be a face shift flower.
I'm keeping such a good eye on it.
Okay.
I look. You just give me the command, and I'll let my my lovely wife take a jump at this guy in a die.
Okay. Locke's still going to wait for a response, but he actually quite likes that that Lance has got his wife involved in quite an aggressive way.
Oh, mate, she's a biter. Eh?
Look, you can try and strong arm me all you want. You work for Marlowe. Marlowe works for the Jackals. Who do you think I'm working for, dude? You think Marlowe, a low-level boss, is gonna intimidate me more than the fucking arena chiefs? Psst. Are you new to this town?
Mate, the arena chiefs don't have a fucking weasel next to his nutsack.
Insight to see if I think he's bluffing.
Okay.
If I think he's just trying
Yeah.
to play it cool,
Yeah,
or
good.
because
2. Can I
Yeah.
Lance have a little go? 20.
what's your partnership?
You think he's...
Yeah, mate, that's weasel sight, yeah?
Yeah, it's weasel insight. You think he's on the level with everything he says.
Okay.
He
Okay.
seems like he's a bit of a hippie, but he's
Right.
the things he's saying seems authentic.
Okay, so
Yeah, look,
I
maybe we shouldn't push this
yeah.
guy, mate.
So I think Locke thinks to himself, it's going to be like we're clearly not going to be able to change that. Clearly, Marlowe isn't as high up as we thought, and there are a lot more things we need to like learn.
You,
about.
yeah, and
so
you know that Marlowe is a fixer that works for the Jackals. He's not the Jackals. He's not
true.
the head of the Jackals.
But I guess like for in terms for like from Locke's point of view, he doesn't have an awareness of the hierarchy.
That's true.
So his hierarchy is Marlowe's
Yep.
quite dangerous and quite on
Yeah,
top.
and he is dangerous.
And maybe this is Locke's awareness building of there's actually a much bigger network going on that he's going to become familiar with over time.
And you hear like a squeaky or whatever, and Miss Stella comes back to
Oh,
Locke's
another
pocket.
weasel! Awesome! Oh, you know, I could make you a trinket that would mind control these weasels.
mate, this guy's gonna get fucking bitten if he's not careful.
So Locke says,
Thank you, Zachary, for your time.
I'll tell you what. Think about it, man. 2 hours of your time, we can get that spider, and I spend the rest of the day making your trinkets.
Where can I find you?
I'm here.
All day?
Well, yeah, I'm waiting to try and drum up some people to help me catch the spider, man.
Okay, we may be back.
All right, Elfie. Don't wait too long. There's a time limit for this.
okay. So and then Locke's gonna kind of walk off back round to meet Key.
Yep.
And
Okay, flower, fine. What are we doing with it now?
Well done, Key. That's a fantastic job.
Oh, I was really proud of myself.
You have no idea how proud I am of you, brother.
Cheers, mate.
Okay, Lance, stop being a weasel.
Oh, well, what do you mean, mate? Oh, fucking hell. Accents, right? Come on. No, mate. Why?
You don't want to transform back? You want to stay as a weasel today?
At the moment, bro, I'm quite enjoying it. Let's move on.
Okay.
All right.
Is the next place going to be just as boring for me? Because I'll be honest, that flower was fine, but can I go off and fight a face-shift spider somewhere?
And you hear, "Hey, dude, I can hear on the other side of the wall. If you want to come fight the face shift spider, come on!"
I heard your conversation. If they need people to fight a face-shift spider, I'm no good in conversations, Locke.
actually,
you know me.
Actually, do you know what?
Lance,
Yes, mate.
how do you feel about going and have a conversation with the Ferris brothers about the pagoda stuff while Key and I go and try and see about this spider? It would make a big difference to our
I
chances.
think the two of you going together makes the most sense because you're very manipulative.
I
and he's
don't.
very smart.
I don't trust you going anywhere on your own. I've seen how you are, and I don't trust you
I have
at
to tell you, man. I mean, this guy's fucking spot on there.
But I'm not going on my own. I'm going with him. Listen,
all. With who? That's what?
yeah.
No, I don't
going
think. I
with
don't.
this wizard we don't know that you just heard through a wall and you've never met.
I don't think this wizard bloke's gonna go with you, mate.
He said he was getting a group together to go and do it.
So, like, the thing's at 9 o'clock tonight. It's 8 o'clock in the morning still. You're not worried about time at the moment.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So actually, we have quite a lot of time.
Yeah.
And what time are we supposed to be meeting Marlowe? Like
Back at
midday?
1. Yeah.
Okay, we have quite a few hours.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Maybe that's worth doing.
Like, you could just do it.
Okay, you two go off and see the Ferris brothers.
Bro, I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like this is a lot of attention if we haven't even decided what we're gonna do with some fucking eagle.
Well, you read the
Lance.
comments.
Believe me, this will make a big difference. So I think we're going to go and see the spider. Do you want to go talk about the pagoda with the Ferris brothers, or do you want to come with us and then we'll go after? Your choice,
You're
mate.
coming. I don't know if I want to go fight a spider. I was looking forward to going to fight a spider. Now you're going to stop me doing all the fun stuff.
So that was a question to you.
I don't know, mate. Now that I know there ain't any ferrets at this place, I'm not sure I'm that interested.
What the thing about the eagle is, the advantage is it's just to stop it killing us when it all goes wrong.
Well, it's not just
my
that.
point there, mate,
It's-
is that if we break this, if we break the totem, I
Yeah.
can just have a chat to him and make friends with him. I'm quite a personable guy, you know.
So I do agree with Lance that actually the more important thing is a way to kill Lewin, which is the pagoda.
But we're not losing anything by doing that. We will still have time.
But
to go
unless
chat
we get
the
to
others.
Lewin and Lewin goes, "Oh, I need you to do this,"
unless we go fight some phase shift spider and one of us dies or has
Okay.
a fucking heart attack.
because we can always go speak to the Ferris brothers and then go. Actually, we'll come back and fight the face shift spider.
So what we could, that's what I was going to suggest.
Basically, they're side quests. Let's go and see what the side quests are,
Sure.
and then we'll choose which side quest.
Let's go speak to the man with the ferret.
Or let's just go and do the main quest when we're not equipped for it.
Let's go speak to the man with the ferrets and then we'll.
Okay, let's go over to the other chat and then we can decide where we go from there.
Yes.
Then okay, we go.
Okay. So, you want to go to the Ferris brothers?
Yes.
You've been. It's been mentioned to you that the meeting's been set up as you pretending to be potential buyers
Yeah.
of something similar.
Sure.
So, you travel across there. This is going to be traveling away from the river, down south to a more industrial part of the city of Seathwaite. It takes you about an hour or so, and you get to a building which is essentially like a courtyard. You can see through. There's some gates. On the gates, there's quite nice writing, Ferris Brothers, on like these steel gates, and you can see inside this courtyard. It's clearly a place where there is a lot of blacksmiths working on quite big pieces. You can see there's in the middle. There's a smith. There's like there's a place where they're heating up raw metal, so it's going into its molten state, and they're pouring it into molds, and that's all you can see through these gates.
Okay. So sorry. Lance,
Lance,
could you
mate.
describe yourself?
I'm a weasel.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
like brown with a white bit down the middle.
but I mean, when
And all my tail is brown, no black. All
Okay.
brown.
When you're a
Weasel.
goblin,
Right.
What do you look like?
I look like a goblin with
Like clothes and stuff.
Yeah, clothes, mate.
What kind? No, I mean, what kind of clothes? Like, do you look poor? Do you look rough? Do you look like a like?
No, I look like a gamekeeper.
A gamekeeper. Okay.
What else do you have on you?
Oh yeah, my my neck. I've got lots of rings around it. The like you see in Africa. My neck is quite long, longer than a normal goblin because I've been stretching it.
Okay. Okay. This gate. Is there any way I can see of like knocking or getting through?
Yeah,
or
there's
ring
a bell on it.
Okay, I'm gonna just insight. Do I think it would be a bit strange? 3 of us coming to discuss this.
4, mate.
Yeah, okay, 4.
No, it's not 4. It's 4.
I'm not saying this out loud as character.
I know, but I'm correcting you as a fucking person because it's quite important to me.
Right, 4.
I normally don't go into these things, so it goes 3.
So do I think it might look a little like insight? Do I think it would look a little weird? I'm basically going to come here with the premise of I'm here on behalf of my master. I look like a kind of rough dock worker, so I could probably come across as an administrative thing or whatever. Do I think it would be a little bit weird with both of these or one of these?
Is Lance in weasel form?
I could.
That's very true. Actually, no, he is in weasel form. That's true. What about Key? Do I think? Because he could just be muscle, I suppose.
Yeah, as a group of servants, that's fine.
Shall we do the routine where I'm the bouncer, bodyguard, that's it, who lost his tongue in an accident?
That's fantastic, Key. I'm so glad you remembered.
That routine normally works really well, except for the time when I told them I was a servant who lost my tongue in an accident.
Yes.
And they said, well, how do you tell us that? And I did not have an answer for that question.
Yeah, try not to do that.
Yeah.
Is it, mate?
So okay, I'm gonna ring the bell thing. What I don't know, press a button or pull a rope or something.
I bang on the door really hard.
So the bell goes.
What?
Then Keith starts banging on the door really hard. Don't worry, I'm coming, don't worry. And then from around the corner, in a hurried walk, is a slightly smallish dwarf. Oh, hello, are you my appointment this morning?
I am.
What's your name? And he's opening the door. He's kind of putting keys in the big gate and pulling the gate open.
My name's Mickey.
Mickey! Know what a stupid name.
Sorry, I forgot, lads. Are you in weasel form?
Yeah.
Are you still on?
Yeah.
So everything is just. I assume only I can hear.
What's the gap between his shoulder and Key's shoulder?
I imagine they stand relatively close.
Okay.
Work throughout the day.
Okay.
I suppose you could probably.
Mine's
hop
higher.
Is it? Oh, of course, because he's a half elf too. Yeah.
I suppose a weasel could quite easily just scamper.
Oh yeah, I can basically fly.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
It's quite a special weasel in that case.
we're going back to the fact that this is a flying weasel.
Yeah, just gonna wait for a woodpecker to go by.
Good. You come in the courtyard as this small dwarf motions you in. Mickey, okay. My name's Bunt the dwarf.
Bun, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, thank you very much. Have you heard about the Ferris brothers?
I have. I hear you've done some nice bloody work on that pagoda out there.
Well, among the many, I mean, yes. I heard when the appointment was made, it was about building something similar.
It was. I was hoping to find out a little more information about the pagoda because my boss is maybe looking to take up that service again.
Oh, very good. Let me just show you around the workyard and you can see the quality of our work.
Wonderful.
Okay. Oh, hello! Sorry, oh my, aren't you a strong lad? You don't happen to want to work as a blacksmith?
Don't worry about him. He's here to carry things and be quiet.
That's what we need at the blacksmith. I know he doesn't want to lose you. You're probably a good worker. I just want to tell you that.
Okay, so Locke, kind of not in a rough way, but like gently touches the dwarf's arm and tries to motion him.
Let's go. We're really keen on.
He's working hard, even after his disability. How did you lose your tongue?
Kit.
That's his name.
I want to make you roll the deception. Yeah.
I mean, like, so unnecessary.
I haven't got any D20, there's no D20.
There's a 3 here.
Why are they got on your groin?
You're right on his groin.
19.
Oh, you poor boy! You're mentally challenged too!
No.
Oh, there! It's very good that you're still working. So many of these people expect handouts, you know!
Well, he's a hard worker despite his disabilities.
Yes, oh, okay. Well, let me show you the oh, here we go. This will show you some of our beautiful weaponry work. And he motions over to the corner where you see a very large orc who is smashing away with a warhammer at a metal dummy. So a solid metal dummy.
I locked this guy's. He's a pretty big lad, this one.
Ufar gets all of his weapons from us!
Ufar. Oh, Ufar. Ufar.
Oh, he was
Yeah.
at the thing, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick, kill him! Time dilation!
The thing is, you can't kill Ufar, so it's fine. He's
What?
too strong.
Oh, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yes. But don't bother him now, you know. He's always got crowds of people bothering him. He's just testing out a warhammer we made for him.
Oh, visuals on the Warhammer. Is it like the one we saw
In the room.
Yeah, the heirloom room. Botch.
I will also try to. Oh yeah, thanks.
You go to talk and bite your tongue.
11.
Yeah.
11 plus 5. 16.
Plus one. Yeah, it's one and the same. It's the
Oh,
same.
that's interesting. That's really interesting, actually.
Let's
Good-
not
good
mention
call.
it because otherwise I know we've been in the heirloom room.
I guess if he's had stuff made from one thing, he's going to have bought other things.
Yeah, but that this is a coincidence to see
Yeah.
the same Warhammer within
Yeah.
a day of it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Does it look
the
like
same
a?
Warhammer.
Does it look like a mass-produced piece, or is it a hand?
No, they said this was a very special. When we saw it in the heirloom room, it was
Yeah.
very special.
I mean, you're the dwarf, sir, so you can ask.
Is this one of a kind, or do you have a few of these hammers?
Oh, we've made several for Ufar over the years. Every time he wins one of the grand tournaments, he normally sells them off to generate a bit more cash. We make it and sell it to him for a pretty penny. He kills a whole load of owlbears, and the price of that warhammer goes up as a memorabilia piece, you know?
Okay, so maybe it's more of a
maybe
nice
that's how-
decoration of.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, man, I don't like owlbears. Not nice.
I mean, I'm not going to respond to you because you are a weasel. I'm not being rude and not
shots
talking
fired.
to you. But yeah.
Across the brow.
And then he moves you on and says, come on, but we're here to show you some of our structural work.
Okay. Yeah, and we follow. We continue.
He walks around and goes,
And I whisper to Lance.
Lance, can you jump on Key's shoulder and give him a little nip if he starts talking?
Yeah, mate, that's fine. Do you want me to say anything else? Like I love you, my bro. That's an Australian. Fuck, what's happened to me?
Just whisper, Key, if you're quiet, I'll give you a big chicken leg.
Oh.
I nip over onto to Key's shoulder.
Yeah. So
As it, bro.
I nod.
Oh yeah, actually no, don't say anything back. 'Cause, my brother,
the opposite of
my,
your
bro-
mission.
my brother literally just told me to go over here and tell you not to speak or say anything. So
Your brother told you that.
yours,
Oh, right.
your brother, eh?
are you talking to him?
No, I forgot.
So, bro, yeah, I apologise for that. I can't put my foot in it there.
I see your servant friend is a bit mental. He's talking to that weasel.
We like to do a bit of charity, and he's our main bit of charity, if you know what I mean.
He's a strong lad, though. Anyway, here's another one of our strong lads. Meet Oda. He's a bit smelly, you know. It's the sulphur mixes with his natural body odour. But he's a strong lad. Come over here, Oda. And there's this taller dwarf that has quite fraggled hair and just a like kind of yellow dusty sheen over his skin. Walks over. Hello. Nice to meet you. Are you a customer of ours?
Hello, my name's Mickey.
Roll
Nice.
a deception for your stupidity!
Two. It's a two.
Plus, what's your deception?
It's a two.
Fucking hell. I regret saying my name. 6, 8.
Your name's Mickey. You didn't seem very sure of that.
I was thinking about my bloody charity over there. Forgive me.
Okay. Anyway, I work on the onyx metal. It's the strongest metal we have, almost indestructible.
And is that the metal you use for the pagoda?
That's the metal we use as the platform for the pagoda, and they build the bricks around it. Nothing's taking that thing down. You'll be safe as houses in that pagoda if you build it yourself.
That's really good to hear. My boss can like that. But what about the mechanism that moves it?
Oh, I don't deal with the mechanisms. Talk to Bunt about it, you know.
I
Okay.
nip onto
Is Bunt? Sorry, is Bunt in that conversation, or
Yeah,
did we
Bunt's
step
there.
up?
He's a smaller dwarf. He's slightly smart. He doesn't look like he's done any blacksmith work. He's the one showing you around and talking to you.
Bunt. So, can you tell us more about the mechanism and the metal used?
Well, maybe I can, Mickey, but I'm a bit concerned because you seem a bit unsure about your name. I was told I was going to have an appointment with a fella, but not much information. Tell me what you're doing here.
As I said, Mickey, I'm here on behalf of my boss because he might want to commission a pagoda himself.
I'll tell you what, if you put a down payment down, then we can talk more seriously.
How much are you talking about?
Well, a down payment normally for a piece would be about 200 gold.
That's a lot of gold considering you haven't told me
I mean,
enough.
considering the pagoda's going to cost you a small fortune, I mean, it's only a small percentage of a deposit. And I'm a bit concerned you might be from a rival blacksmithery with your fake names, Mickey.
That's fair.
I nip onto his shoulder.
I mean, this blacksmith, you just see this weasel
Jumping between them.
shoulder to shoulder. It's a well-trained weasel.
Actually, do you know what?
Where's your wife?
She's in his pocket.
I'm going to try and do a persuasion to calm the situation and allay his fears.
Bunt, there's no problem here. I don't work for no competitor dwarves. I was a bit razzle-dazzle because of this bloody oath. As you can probably tell, talking to weasels half the day and quarter of the night.
I'm nodding.
There's no problem.
So you're saying that...
But I don't carry that kind of money. Can we maybe talk a bit more?
And I'm going to do a persuasion. And it's going to be 6 plus 9, 15.
The dice have not been favourable to you,
Fucking haven't, have they? This will be really useful.
Shall I go and fight that spider?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll introduce you to my brother. He's the one that deals with the finer mechanisms. But if we're gonna go any further, then you're gonna have to put down a down payment, because you know we don't deal in dodgy business. We're on the up and up at this place, you know. Anyway, let's go talk to Danzig. Danzig, brother. I got some customers that want talking to you.
Can I drop down off his shoulder and weasel around?
Yeah, sure.
Actually, that's a great
Weasel
idea.
away.
That's a really good idea.
I'm gonna have to actually get. Do you want me to get weasel stats? Because I've got them on the. I haven't got them.
No,
on
you, at the moment, until you have to do a check. Don't worry.
Okay. So, which describe to me the exact type of place we are at the moment.
So you're in this open courtyard.
Yeah.
There's it seems like workstations in several corners. In the middle, there's like a foundry where they're melting a lot of metal and they're pouring it into molds, and then they're creating things there.
Okay.
And that's where this Danzig is standing, because you can see because he's turned around and motioned.
So, as I get down, I'll jump onto Key's shoulder and I'll shout to him. Oh, not shout. I'll weasel to him. Hey, Key, my bro. I'm gonna jump down. I'm gonna go see if I can get an eye on some of these cogs and shit. You come after me, and you look like you're chasing me to get me, and maybe we can work out whether we can get a better look at these cogs, because I haven't seen them yet.
I do a thumbs up to the weasel.
And I jump off his shoulder and go running towards where I think they might have the whole sort of the component parts of the cogs and such like, rather than the actual making bit.
Okay, so there's two areas where you can see the area where Danzig's working, and there are a pile of cogs as like kind of the output there. They're quite like they're 1.5 foot in diameter, kind of. There's also the other side where Oda was, where he's making what they called onyx metal, right? So they're the two really places you can go and investigate.
Why do I need to chase you?
Because you've seen the mechanisms, and I wanted to.
I haven't
No,
seen the
he
mechanisms.
doesn't. I have.
Ah, right. Cancel that then. That's a misunderstanding. I thought you were both there.
But I mean, you still might be able to explore and have a look.
Yeah,
and see.
I think
because
him
you might be able
exploring
to,
is a lot
like,
safer,
yeah, and especially you have a metal proficiency or something. Maybe you'd be able to tell the differences.
Well, I've got Melf's acid arrow, so I reckon I could, if I find the right cog, maybe. Do I think that by looking at them, I might get a hinge on it, or do I reckon I might need to work out?
I think it's worth a try, considering like how my conversations go. And
I think so far I've been the best in this situation, and I'm really proud of my contribution. So, you guys suck. You should have let me fight the face spider. This is what you get for not trusting me to go on my own and fight a teleporting spider. I would have been fine. You need to trust me more. I've only written the campaign once, maybe twice.
Okay, so you want to go down, you want to get off and...
Well, yeah, I want to get a better look on some of the areas that because the conversation here was he was saying that they wanted to take him to the office, was it? Or what
I was
they
going
want to go
to
meet Danzig,
who's
who's
by
by all
gonna,
the cogs.
Right, okay.
Well, we don't know how that conversation is going to be because he's like, "No, I need money. I don't trust you," and blah blah. So, and I've struggled on persuasion and stuff. So, I'll try persuasion again on the new guy, but it doesn't hurt if you go and have a look around.
Let's go have a look.
Yeah, let's go have a look. We'll cancel it because I misunderstood. Right, let's go.
No, but you can go off separately and have a look.
Okay, well then
do what you want. But let's do something.
So wait, so did he say that to Keith?
No, because I thought he had seen the cogs.
Okay.
Yeah, so he asked me first, did you see the cogs? And I shook my head.
Oh, okay.
There we go, we'll
And then
retcon
who
that
does
question.
what from now? Actions.
I stand dead still.
Yeah, good. Good. It's not like
I'll
you've
stay
gone.
on my man Key's shoulder.
Okay, so you walk over to Danzig, who's next to this pile of cogs. Danzig's taller. He's actually almost as tall, even though he's a dwarf. He's almost as tall as Locke is.
So maybe half breed.
Maybe.
Can we tell that?
You could if you had Zachary with you, because he can tell the breed of every person.
Well, so he says.
Yeah, so he says.
It was a random
so he
boast.
says.
So you walk over to him.
Hello there, new customers. Lovely. Do you want me to do my talk, Grunt?
Danzig, very good. Yes, please do your talk. And Danzig motions and he starts talking about the foundry and he starts talking about the cogs. Bunk comes in and says, the thing is with our mechanisms, the onyx metal is almost indestructible, but the cogs and the mechanisms, we need to have a subscription plan. The delicacy of the mechanisms means we can't use the onyx metal. It means that we're going to have to come in on a, 4-month basis and replace all your cogs. So there's an upfront cost and then there's a further cost, you see. It's exactly what we did at the pagoda.
Okay, that sounds fair. But, what kind of, metals are you using for this?
Well, this is just standard...
Are we going to have to put in some special protection from the elements, for example?
No, we suggest the mechanisms be inside the building, and it's standard protection. When we did the job for, Henkel at the White Castle, and with that, Danzig's turned away from you.
Okay.
And he loudly mutters something to himself.
Can I try to hear?
Everyone can try and hear.
Ooh, this sounds important. We all getting a go. 19. Don't bother.
+1.
So Keith's kind of distracted and looking around a bit, but he's looking at Danzig.
Because I'm not looking, my ears.
Yeah, exactly.
Focusing.
Hearing.
And with that, so they're just talking about the White... So Bunt was just talking about the White Castle, talking about how all the cogs are in the inside. Yeah. Danzig's turned away. And you notice with your perception, Danzig's demeanor's changed. And you hear him say, machines building machines, how bloody perverse. I'm never going back to that place.
I can't communicate this.
No, I just realised that, so I'm going to see if I hear that. 7 plus a 3, so that's probably a no.
17 plus a...
4, 21.
21.
So Locke hears that as well.
That's really interesting.
Look, mate, just because I've got smaller ears doesn't mean I can't do shit, though.
Apparently it does.
Yeah, it's a good fair point, I'd say.
Okay. To be honest, I think at this point, I think we've got enough information in terms of what we want. We know
we?
that the metal. What we know that the cogs are being replaced every 4 months. That suggests that they're fragile and need constant maintenance.
No, mate, I jump onto.
So then you need to whisper to me because
Yeah.
I'm feeling.
I'm about to. I jump onto to Locke's shoulder. Eh? Locke, my friend, my bra, my China. You got to ask this guy if any of the cogs are particularly susceptible to needing replacing, and if they are perhaps for this guy more expensive. Eh? Maybe spin it as you think he might be trying to fuck you over.
Okay. All right.
So, what about these pieces that need replacing? Are there varying prices on these, or are they kind of standard? I don't want any messing around with maintenance costs variable, like.
Well, we normally just have a set fee and we replace all of them, to keep it safe. You don't want to fuck around with these mechanisms, The smaller the cog, the more easy it is to damage it. The bigger the cock.
Danny's face was amazing.
He's fucked up, hasn't he?
I think my role in this game has been to protect the flower and be quiet. But I got to hear the word cock. So it's overall been a pretty good round.
So the bigger the cog, then the more likely we can keep it there. So we can talk about the amount of maintenance you need,
Okay.
Slip of the tongue there, my friend. I think this guy might be a ferret.
Well,
In fact, this is Ferret's place, ain't it? Yeah, this guy's got some fetishes you don't want to know about.
Locke is struggling to think while being whispered at hurriedly.
Things you'd see ferrets do, huh?
thank you very much, but we're gonna take this information back, and we might be visiting you very soon.
With that, you hear a massive grunt and a smash as metal splinters everywhere with a clang in the corner as Ufod destroys the dummy he's been working on.
Okay, so Locke shakes his hand.
Okay, so
and
Bob
also
shakes hands.
I forgot the other one's name, Dunfar or something.
Danzig.
So and then goes to leave.
Okay.
I wave.
See you later. If you ever need a job, just come and ring on my bell.
I wanted to sing that earlier, but I thought against it.
There you go. Okay, so you've got information from them.
Yeah.
You've got a potential.
What's the time now?
So now it's you went and talked to.
As we're going out, look, are we being escorted out, or are we walking out as a
Well,
three?
they did walk you out. You can leave and then talk.
So let's say we've walked out and we've gone a bit.
Yeah, once we're outside. So, fellas, how do you think about that, huh?
Yeah, I had a lovely time. They seemed really impressed with how strong I was.
I mean, I feel like we know that, okay, fine, we got to damage the cogs, but we knew that before. I wonder if there's something in there that we might be able, we babs.
Well, it
well,
was surprising
Lance,
when
if-
he said there was a machine that made machines.
Yeah, but also, Lance, he mentioned that the smaller cogs are more fragile, and also that they're not this special metal. So I would imagine those are some strong clues as to you damaging. But what do you think? You're the expert.
I know, but, yeah, well, I suppose we'll have to look. When you saw them, how many cogs were there?
It was literally like a forest of cogs. And that's literally the best description I could give you.
Oh yeah, so inside the building, yeah, it was just a wall that was just like this massive network.
Yeah,
of
it was like
cogs.
a huge tower of cogs. Oh, sorry, in character.
It was a huge tower of cogs.
They were large.
A
rather
huge
than
tower
incredibly
of-
numerous.
Yeah, it was like
And it
insane.
stretched up for stories.
Yeah,
Right.
like the entirety of the castle.
On your way out, you get given a piece of paper, which is a bit of an advertising pamphlet for the mechanisms, the features, the designs that they have.
Okay, well, I think I'd probably give it to Lance to have a look at and see what.
No,
he
mate, I can't hold this, mate. I'm too big,
I'm
huh?
not giving it to you as the weasel. I'm flipping through it so you can.
I
look
hold
at
it up and hold it in front of his face so he can read it.
Okay.
Oh, thanks, bro.
So, and as you
Gangrene, huh?
ingest that information, then we'll have to wrap up next week. Decide if you do any of your other side missions.
How bloody exciting!
I hope we go to more places where an intelligent conversation is held and I get to stand by.
I feel like I've added, although I've added a professional sense to this this group, we have achieved very little since I've joined. Perhaps blundering around was the right way to go about it.
I'm just saying, it made things happen. Thank you for listening to
Thanks,
our podcast.
guys.
Thanks for listening, guys.
The Formal Gamer, podcasts for those with exquisite taste.